Hello everyone, so this video will be discussing the light independent stage of photosynthesis. Now let's just do a really quick overview. You know that photosynthesis can be broken into two stages. The first stage is the light dependent reaction. And it's called light dependent because it relies on photons from the sun. Photons. And these will ultimately get used to produce ATP, which is what our cells use for energy, and NADPH. So these two molecules are produced. Now ATP is made from the precursor ADP plus PI, and NADPH is made from NADP plus. The other really amazing process that happens is our cells, the plant cells, actually split water to make oxygen. So what are the reactants? We need water, ADP plus PI, and NADP plus. And what's produced? Oxygen, ATP, and NADPH. Now ATP and NADPH are really important for the second stage of photosynthesis, which is called the light independent reaction. Independent reaction. Now it's called light independent because it doesn't need photons. It's also called the Calvin cycle. Now the light independent reaction still occurs during the daytime. It just doesn't need photons to occur. It just needs the ATP and the NADPH from the light-dependent reaction. It also needs another very important molecule, and this molecule is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. And this, along with ATP and NADPH, gets made into P-gal, or you might also see it written as G3P. Now, P-gal is actually the glucose precursor molecule. That means that P-gal will get made into glucose. Now, if we follow the carbons here, it might clear this up a little bit. So, carbon dioxide has one carbon and two oxygens. And these get joined together to form P-gal. And P-gal is a 3-carbon molecule which has a little phosphate. Now, as I'm sure you all know, glucose is a 6-carbon molecule. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm sure you can realize 2 of these P-gals get joined together to form glucose. So let's go into this in a little bit more detail, and let's actually discuss the Calvin cycle. So the Calvin cycle begins with 6 carbon dioxide molecules. Now I'm only using 6 because it ends up making the whole process much neater. Now these 6 carbon dioxide molecules will actually bind with another molecule called RuBP. It will combine with 6 of those. So 6 carbon dioxide and 6 RuBP will join together, and via an anabolic reaction, that means they're building, they will build 12 P-gal molecules. Now this process, because it's anabolic, actually uses ATP. And we will use 12 ATP molecules to do this. Now these 12 ATP molecules get converted to 12 ADP plus PI molecules. And we also need the NADPH we made from the light-dependent reaction. So we need 12 NADPH, and these will get converted to 12 NADP+. So we need the hydrogen to make pGal. So now we have 12 pGal molecules. Now of these 12, 2 will continue to make 1 glucose molecule. But this whole process is like a recycling process. We need to remake these 6 RUBPs. So 12 minus 2 is 10. The 10 remaining pGals will get converted back to RUBP. Now this needs energy because again it's an anabolic reaction. So again we need ATP and we need 6 molecules of ATP, and these will get converted to 6 molecules of ADP plus PI. Now, I think it's quite interesting to actually follow the carbon molecules in this. So, carbon dioxide has 1 carbon, right? And pGal, as you know, has 3 carbons. 6 times 1 is 6 carbons. 12 times 3 is 36 carbons. Now, RUBP actually has 5 carbons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 times 5 is 30 carbons. 30 plus 6 is 36. Nothing's disappeared. These two pGals have 6 carbon molecules, 10 pGals remaining. 10 times 3 is 30. 30 carbons in pGal get converted back to 30 carbons in RUBP. So everything gets recycled. Now, here we actually use an enzyme. The 6 carbon dioxides will bind with 6 RUBP with the help of an enzyme called rubisco. Rubisco. So this is the Calvin cycle. And this occurs in the stroma of the chloroplasts. So this video discussed the light-independent stage of photosynthesis.